Without a doubt, Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, is Coach of the Year. Now, I have a few factors which guarantees that Coach Prime is Coach of the Year. One is, the first one, Coach Prime is a leader, and not just at Colorado. Now, there's a trend. There's something that happens when Coach Prime takes over a program. The first year, it is what it is. The second year, the team goes all the way. It was true for Coach Prime when he coached Trinity Christian, which was Shiloh and Shador's high school. And it was true at Jackson State. Coach Prime took over in 2020. The pandemic hit. It is what it was. And 2021, 2022, they went all the way. Coach Prime made it to Colorado. First year, it is what it was. We can debate about it all day on a different video. Year two, we're poised to go all the way. Not just the Big 12. We're not even focused on the Big 12 right now, but we already know that Colorado is officially in the Big 12 championship game against BYU, scheduled to take place in Arlington. I don't have a date yet. If y'all do, please drop it in the comments. So that's the pattern for Coach Prime. The man is a leader. He goes to a program, he takes his experience, and whatever it is at the time, it just is what it is. You can only do so much when there's already a system in place, and you can come in and try to make it better. But the second year is where Coach Prime gets to call all the shots, just like at Colorado, and we're poised to go all the way. Now, it was well known that Coach Prime interviewed for the Florida State job, and they didn't hire him. And Coach Prime went to Florida State. He graduated from Talladega and HBCU, but he actually played football for Florida State. And, well, it looks like they should have hired him. You remember last year when they were having the playoffs and they had the 4 teams, they were trying to decide Georgia, Washington, Texas, and Alabama, right? And it was supposed to be Florida. Statistically, it was supposed to be Florida, but their quarterback broke his leg. And the committee went with, I think it was in Alabama, and people were like, Alabama shouldn't have been in it. But here's what they said. Well, chances are they're going to lose. And we don't want to pick somebody that's going to lose. We want to pick somebody that's going to win. And I heard somebody say they should have hired Coach Prime because they definitely would have been in there. I'm like, facts. Which leads me to another point. Coach Prime is an innovator. In 2020, he was at Jackson State. And in 2021, the transfer portal rules changed. And Coach Prime, I think, got 19 players from the portal. He had 25 from high school. And in 2022, Coach Prime set a trend. His transfer portal methodology took place in 2022, and that's when the trend just sparked across the nation. So Coach Prime went to a college program from being a high school coach, only for a few years, and used his experience to innovate the way players are recruited and programs are built. And in 2022, people adopted the methodology, and it was Coach Prime's last year. And then he went to 2023, Coach Prime becomes the head coach at Colorado. Colorado was 1-11. Coach Prime did not like the fact that the players on a 1-11 team were so complacent. And he was blown away at just the sheer volume of resources that they had to be competitors. And they just weren't capitalizing off of it. So he told them he was bringing his Louis luggage. And that wasn't the first time he got him some Louis. He went in the portal in 2021 before anybody else did it and got him some Louis luggage. And then people began to disparage Coach Prime. They already weren't happy he was at Colorado anyway. So they began to disparage him, discount him, You know, they felt some kind of sympathy for the kids. They said he told them all to leave. He didn't. He said, you can stay. He said, but you might want to think about getting in the portal because I'm bringing my Louis with me. When you think about right now, that has materialized right before our eyes, and you haven't heard one announcer say anything about Colorado being that Louis luggage, because they are. So Coach Prime innovated and changed the way teams recruit. And somebody was in my comments and they said, the coach of Indiana, Signetti. They said Signetti should be coach of the year because he took his team all the way. I'm like, first, Signetti's been coaching for 41 years, okay? Secondly, Coach Prime hadn't even been coaching 5 or 6, 7, 8 years yet. He hadn't even been coaching a decade. And an announcer on one of these shows, maybe ESPN, said that Signetti should be coach of the year because he innovated the transfer portal. And some people got upset. And they said it felt like he was trying to take credit for what Coach Prime did. To be honest with you, I think y'all are overthinking it. These analysts are just flat out lazy. Half of them don't even watch the damn games. I have noticed this. I watched Shannon Sharp on his own show after Colorado played Baylor. When first, Shannon dragged Colorado, talking about it's the same thing as last year. He was horrible. Even with Coach Prime being his friend, it was awful. I had stopped watching. And then after the Baylor game, I saw his program, so I clicked on it. And he was talking about Shedeur. And he was like, yeah, you know, he's a pure pocket passer. I'm like, what Shedeur Sanders are you talking about? He doesn't have really good legs to run. I'm like, what Shedeur Sanders are you talking about? And his arm isn't that strong. I'm like, what Shedeur Sanders are you talking about? These guys, they don't watch these games. Let me tell you what they do. They get up there. They got a few buzzwords already floating around their head that they use all the time. Somebody gave them some little tidbits on a sheet of paper or probably sent it to their phone, and they just ran with it. So that guy, I think he was just being lazy. And you know how I know that they don't be paying attention? Desmond Howard was sitting right there. I've watched Desmond Howard stand up for Colorado and what's right and hold people accountable. I don't even think he heard him. I don't even think he was listening. So my thing is, Signetti, the coach of Indiana, he just got there. He just got there. In 2023, he was at James Madison. In 2023, Coach Prime was in Colorado bringing his Louis luggage from Jackson State. So don't let these people rile y'all up. Some of them just lazy. I see it all the time. So Coach Prime is an innovator. Innovated and elevated and changed the way players are recruited. He does not bring in a lot of high school players because it takes them time to develop. And you heard him say it, I'm trying to win now. You also heard him say last year, you better get me now because this is the worst we're going to be. You ever heard a reporter mention that again this year? You ever heard a reporter talk about the Louis luggage? So yeah, Coach Prime is an innovator of recruiting and elevating it, which other coaches are beginning to adopt, which is great. But again, that's the number 2 reason why Coach Prime is coach of the year. Number 3, Coach Prime is a player's coach. What do I mean by that? Coach Prime develops players. Now, he doesn't want to take 2 to 3 years to develop a high school player. But when he gets players from the portal or they come to Colorado, if they're willing to do the work, they're ready for the NFL. Derek McClendon, who plays for Miami right now, he's on their team. He said that. He said, I was actually ready. Everything we did at Colorado prepared me for this. Look at Xavier Weaver down in Arizona. They loved him in camp because he was ready. And then they said we just got one of the number 1 prospects for quarterback going into the 2025 season. Juju Lewis's crystal ball to Colorado. And then we might have the other player who was on the O-line. So all players want to come to Colorado now, but only so many can. If you get that invite, which looked like Louis, by the way, it was beautiful. You're special. But one thing all players should understand, Coach Prime does not play. You need to compete for your position. If you are stuck on your 4 and 5 stars from high school and you don't want to do anything, well, you've seen that happen before, so you already know how that story goes. He gets players ready for the league. He also prepares them to understand that you can do this, whether you're on a practice squad or what you need to do to get drafted, and you're probably not going to get drafted, so what else is it that you want to do? There's a player who's on Colorado's scout team, practice team, wears the green jersey. He said he wanted to be a firefighter. You know what Coach Prime did? He said on a Zoom call with the fire department that he wants to be a firefighter for, and told them just how much of an asset this young man would be. He already knows what he wants to do after football. And Coach Prime said the firefighters are going to come watch him practice. That's a player's coach. Y'all know Travis's story. From Florida State to Jackson State. Travis' last name just might as well be Sanders. Travis Hunter Sanders. When Coach Prime said Travis was like a son to him, we have watched their relationship mature. They have so much in common. Some people said Travis was the son that Coach Prime needed, the one that likes to fish with him, the one that likes to ride the four-wheelers. His son seems to have outgrown that. Travis is the youngest. But there was a play in particular, Coach Prime, it was caught on video, went up to Travis and told him, get ready. And Travis went out there and got the interception. Coach Prime's experience is invaluable. His knowledge, his intellect, his football IQ, invaluable. So he's a player's coach. I just heard him talk to the players about two things. A few weeks ago, he said, okay, are y'all ready? Because this is getting ready to be over. Have you done everything that you need to do to prepare for your next step? Because after the last game, it's time to move out. Y'all need to start thinking about it. Where are you going to go? Are you going to mom's? Are you getting a job? What are you going to move in with your girlfriend? What are you doing? That was reality. That was reality. Most people don't get that when they get ready to leave college from their professors or whatever. Oh, no. Coach Prime even taught a class on NIL at Colorado. How often does that happen? And then the most recent conversation he had with them, he was showing them how much they make on a practice squad, because we know everybody can't get drafted, but we do have players that can go on a practice squad. He said they get paid anywhere from $12,000 to $20,000 a week. I'm like, young men, y'all are lucky, because as a woman, if I would have had the opportunity to go on a practice squad and make $20,000 a week, I would work that like a job. You hear me? I would be going to class, going to work out, going to watch film, going to sleep, wake up and doing it, rinse and repeat every day until I got there. Because we don't have those opportunities as women. So y'all are some blessed individuals. Good luck to you. So with us having people on the practice squad, that takes Colorado from 10 to 12 people to be drafted next year to about 4 to 5 more on a practice squad. That's almost 20 people that could end up in the NFL from Colorado next year. On offense and defense, it's only 22 people. We already know the front seven is going. You don't hear the announcers talking about it, but Coach Prime definitely has some Louis luggage. And he'll have some next year. And what other coach has 2 Heisman candidates in the top 10? Nobody. Coach Prime is Coach of the Year. He's a player's coach. He develops his players for the NFL. He develops them for their future after football, if that's what they choose. And he develops them to be winners. 2 Heisman candidates in the top 10 for Heisman candidates. People say, oh, he played favorites. No, he doesn't, because I watched him on video kick Shiloh out of a meeting because he was late. We knew that. If you follow Jackson State, you know Coach Prime don't play. Every day he has somebody right there to tell him who's coming in late. He made sure those players respect the women that are on that campus, whether they work there or students or interns. He made sure the locker room is clean and nobody is thinking that their maid is coming from their mommy's house to clean up behind them. He calls them out. He holds them accountable. That's a coach. Like he said, we are raising men. That's coach of the year. A lot of these coaches don't care about these kids. They just burn through them. They get injured, there's nothing else they can do. That's not Coach Prime. Look at number 58. Webb Walker, I think. He had to take medical leave. Do y'all know that his jersey is hanging up in Coach Prime's office after Coach Prime brought him up to tell the team, this young man wishes he had another opportunity to play with y'all? Coach Prime was just in a casual office setting, looking at some shoes or something, and somebody snapped a picture and I saw the jersey on the wall. I was like, wow, this man cares genuinely about these players. Race, color, creed does not matter. Coach Prime is invaluable. The Prime effect. Last year, Colorado businesses, the Chamber of Commerce, held a meeting and thanked Coach Prime because the Prime effect brought in $18 million per home game. That was 6 home games last year. They should still be raking in the dough. Y'all saw the Baylor game. Y'all see these home games packed out. The Prime effect. So Coach Prime is invaluable to the community. For those people who thought they were going to set him up last year and tank his season after the 3rd game when they went 3-0, yeah, don't think I don't know, because I know. Coach Prime is good. Y'all got a good one, because he dealt with that adversity and he overcame it. Because I probably would have just tried to take some folks down after working all this hard, and you try to set me up and make me look bad because you wanted me to get fired. You really think the community in Boulder, after they made $18 million in 90 days, we're going to get rid of Coach Prime? My philosophy is, if you want to be a black head coach in the NCAA college football, regardless of division, go get you some kind of effect that looks like the Prime effect. Because I'll never forget how Kevin Sumlin was treated at Texas A&M. People even suggested Coach Prime go to A&M. I was like, no. If you don't know, Google it. So the Prime effect makes Coach Prime invaluable to the community. Coach Prime is also invaluable to Colorado because last year, just through 3 games, they had already increased their admissions and their revenue. Their coffers were fatter by $90 million. Colorado is raking in the dough. Coach Prime's next contract needs to be fat. They got off easy with his current contract. They took a chance on him, but they didn't want to delve too much into it and be like Texas A&M paying somebody $75 million, paying somebody $75 million for nothing. So it was a business decision. I don't doubt it, but they got off easy, and they better go ahead and make that next contract a lifetime contract. So Coach Prime is invaluable to the community in Boulder, the business community, as well as the university, the finance department, the revenue department. Coach Prime has made college football exciting. Oh, I see the comments. People in other countries. I had a lady who said she was in Thailand. She has never watched college football. People say it all the time. I have never watched college football. I'm not in the United States. I'm in Canada. I'm in this country. I'm in Africa. I'm in Brazil. I'm here. I'm there. And I'm watching Colorado, and I never knew who Coach Prime was before then. He has made college football exciting. Coach Prime is the reason I took my first trip to Jackson, Mississippi when he was at Jackson State. He was also the reason ESPN went down there for the first time. I'm from New Orleans. I've been to Biloxi. I've been to Fontainebleau. I had never been to Jackson, Mississippi. I went to cheerleader camp at the University of Mississippi, but that doesn't count. I was in high school. But my point is, Coach Prime got a lot of us to Jackson State and has even more of us watching Colorado. That's invaluable. He was invaluable to Jackson State for sure. Their games aren't, even though they're doing good, Their games are not sold out. It kind of broke my heart because their game was not even sold out, looks like, for homecoming. That hurt me in my heart. I'm an HBCU grad. And after Coach Prime, it just fell off. But we knew it would. So that's why universities like Florida State University and Jackson State University, when you get the opportunity to get someone like Coach Prime, a leader, a player's coach, an innovator, someone who's invaluable to the community, invaluable to the university, makes football exciting again, brings the fans out. You treat them well, you treat them with respect, and you give them the resources they need to get the job done. So that's what makes Coach Prime Coach of the Year. If you don't think so, I told you, go argue with your mother. And if y'all think I left anything out, drop me in the comments and let me know what y'all think. And for my new subscribers, thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all for riding with me. I really enjoy making the videos. It does take a lot of time, so I'm not able to post like 3 or 4 times a day. But when I do, I try to take good care. So I hope you all enjoy the videos and stick around for another one. Peace.